During World War II, soldiers faced bitterly cold nights in unheated tents across Europe and the Pacific. With limited supplies and harsh conditions, survival depended on practical, low-tech solutions. Among the countless improvisations, there was one particularly effective trick that rarely surfaces in modern camping or survival guides. It allowed troops to retain body heat, prevent frostbite, and survive long nights without modern sleeping bags or portable heaters. This guide dives straight into that method and explains how you can apply it today for historical study, survival practice, or even unconventional winter camping. Today, this can be applied by using modern hot water bottles or chemical heat packs in a similar way. Place one near your feet, another in the torso area if possible, and cover both with insulating layers. This keeps the heat concentrated where it's most needed, exactly as soldiers did with minimal equipment. Blocking drafts was more important than adding heat. In a cold tent, adding heat is only half the battle. Preventing heat loss is often more effective. During World War II, soldiers learned that even small gaps in tent flaps or canvas allowed cold air to circulate and drastically reduce warmth. They used whatever was on hand, extra blankets, clothing, or even mud, to seal seams and gaps. This created a stable microclimate inside the tent that retained body heat efficiently. For modern survivalists, sealing drafty areas is critical. Use folded blankets or foam strips to cover gaps in tent flaps or around zippers. Even small adjustments like positioning your sleeping area away from direct drafts or corners where cold air settles make a measurable difference. This method doesn't require extra equipment and relies solely on understanding airflow, a principle soldiers mastered decades ago. Now, another rarely mentioned World War II technique was the use of reflective materials to bounce heat back toward the body. Soldiers often used metallic or coated surfaces found in ration packaging or field gear to line the interior of tents. These reflective layers redirected body heat that would otherwise escape, amplifying the effectiveness of blankets and clothing. Today, this can be replicated using modern emergency blankets or metallic sleeping mats. Position the reflective side toward your body, under or over your insulating layers, to maximize heat retention. Even a small sheet tucked between your sleeping mat and blanket can raise interior warmth significantly, echoing a proven military tactic from the 1940s. Soldiers didn't rely solely on materials. Tent placement was a tactical consideration. They oriented tents to block prevailing winds, using natural barriers like trees or embankments to reduce exposure. Ground selection also mattered. Higher ground might be exposed, while depressions trapped cold air. Inside the tent, the sleeping position of occupants mattered as well. Troops often positioned themselves close together to share body heat, forming small thermal clusters that retained warmth without any equipment. These days, folks can, follow the same ideas by scouting out sheltered spots when setting up camp, using the lay of the land to cut down on exposure and grouping sleeping areas in a smart way. Positioning your tent so it's perpendicular to the wind and steering clear of those low-lying, frost-prone areas, well, that'll give you the same advantage soldiers counted on. And honestly, sharing heat with your buddies or just using a buddy system to cluster where you sleep really drives home that same principle. Combining multiple small techniques produced some truly remarkable results. No single technique kept soldiers warm. They had to combine layering, heat sources, draft blocking, reflective surfaces, and smart placement to create survivable conditions. Each tactic, honestly, multiplied the effectiveness of the others. A well-layered sleeping area with a strategically placed hot water bottle inside a sealed, draft-proof tent lined with a reflective sheet could keep a soldier warm through those freezing nights, even without any modern gear. Applying this today is just as effective. Begin with insulating layers, add concentrated heat sources, seal drafts, incorporate reflective surfaces, and choose your campsite intelligently. These small, deliberate actions, well, they produce a warm, comfortable microclimate even in harsh conditions. Historical documentation, including field manuals and soldiers' memoirs, confirms that this combination saved lives in extreme winter campaigns. The beauty of this World War II trick is that it's adaptable. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a survivalist, or a winter camper, these principles can be applied with whatever resources you have on hand. For historical reenactors, using authentic wool blankets, canvas tents, and ration-pack reflectors offers a real taste of the conditions soldiers faced. Survivalists can use modern equivalents, foam pads, emergency blankets, hot packs, while still applying the same strategic methods. The core principle is understanding heat retention, draft control, and thermal layering, which honestly remains timeless. The World War II trick for keeping tents warm is a lesson in resourcefulness, precision, and understanding the physics of heat. Soldiers survived freezing nights by combining layered insulation, carefully placed heat sources, draft management, reflective surfaces, and smart tent orientation. Today, this knowledge can elevate your winter camping, survival planning, or historical study. Applying these strategies doesn't require expensive gear, just attention to detail and an understanding of the principles proven on the battlefields of Europe and beyond. If you found this guide valuable, subscribe to Living for the Seasons for more deep dives into forgotten historical survival techniques and practical home strategies. Go ahead and share this with fellow history enthusiasts and survivalists so they too can benefit from strategies that have stood the test of time.